Spoiler season for Dominaria Remastered just ended, and I was curious when looking at all the cards, what are the top 10 most expensive cards in the set? As a set comprised of fully reprints, I was curious what cards should you look out for when you're opening packs, or what cards should you look at to see if their price drops as the reprints hit the market. So that's exactly what we're gonna do, starting with number 10. Which is Worldly Tutor. This card is currently going for $26.83, and it is a powerhouse. Just to note really quickly, all prices in this video are in USD, so keep that in mind. Either way, Worldly Tutor is 1 green for an instant that lets you search your library for a creature card and basically put it on top of your library at instant speed. This card is insane. Tutors are very, very powerful as they make your deck very consistent. This has only ever seen 3 printings before this in Mirage, 6th edition, and then Commander Collection Green, so its price is pretty high. It is a almost must include in any creature-based deck that can run it, especially in things like Commander. So yeah, it's really good to see this get reprinted. I'm excited to see more copies of it on the market. Number 9, Entomb. Another 1-drop instant. Entomb is currently going for $32.95, and it's a 1 black instant that lets you search your library for any card and put it into your graveyard. So very similar to Worldly Tutor, this is going to be a tutor, and this works especially well in graveyard-based decks. Again, tutors make decks consistent for a lot of the same reasons as Worldly Tutor. Entomb is expensive. However, Entomb has seen some more reprintings, although a lot of them are in very exclusive ways. It was first printed in Odyssey and then was reprinted as a Judge promo in World Champ decks, but then more recently has been seeing printings in things like Eternal Masters and Ultimate Masters. So this reprint is still really nice. It's been a little bit, and again, it just makes decks more consistent, especially those that want things in their graveyard. Really, really awesome. Alrighty, number 8, Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. This is a card from the original Modern Horizons, and it's currently going for $37.57. It's a 4-drop, and it does a lot. It lets you pay some life and sacrifice creatures to put -1/-1 counters on your opponent's creatures and draw cards, and then it also lets you pay black mana and discard cards to proliferate. It kind of just does a lot, and in a lot of black decks that either care about sacrificing, paying life, proliferating, caring about -1/-1 counters, or just wanting ways to draw more cards, this card is good, which pretty much means it's good in most black decks. It only has ever seen a reprinting in Time Spiral Remastered after its original Modern Horizons printing, and that was only as the retro frame, so it is seeing its first real reprint, I will call it, in its original frame, which is really great to see. Reprints are great. Alrighty, number 7 is No Mercy. This is currently going for about $39.32, and it is a 4-cost enchantment that is pretty simple but pretty powerful. It says, whenever a creature deals damage to you, destroy it. Now, this is a pretty powerful effect. However, it is currently going for that price, mostly because it hasn't seen a real reprint, really. So it was printed in Urza's Legacy, then it was an Amonkhet Invocation, so it was a masterpiece that didn't see a ton of copies being printed, and then it was a Judge promo in 2022. So outside of that, this card has not seen a reprint, and so I expect the price on this to drop. Typically, if cards are expensive because they're rare, if they get reprinted, their price is affected more than cards that are reprinted because they are powerful. Number 6 is Sylvan Library. This card is currently going for $42.51, and it is another powerhouse, especially in formats like Commander. It is a 2-cost green enchantment that says, at the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards, and then you have to put 2 back that you drew this turn, but you can keep extras if you pay 4 life. It is really good. It gives you a lot of selection, gives you the ability to pay life to draw cards, and it's all on a 2-drop enchantment. This actually has seen a decent number of reprints, first being printed in 5th edition and being printed in things like Commander's Arsenal and Commander Collection Green, but a lot of the stuff it was in was actually digital only, so seeing this get another reprint is great. Its price has fallen significantly, however, it's still a card really needed in Commander, so seeing more of them is great. Speaking of great, let's talk about number 5, Vampiric Tutor. This is currently going for about $42.74, and it is another 1-drop instant speed tutor, but it's actually the best one we've seen so far. It's 1 black for an instant and lets you search your library for any card. You don't have to reveal it, you put it on top of your library and you lose 2 life. This card is utterly insane. It is playable in any black deck that can run it. Now, the fact that it's banned in Legacy and restricted in Vintage means not many decks can run it, but in Commander, this thing is amazing. It was first printed a very long time ago, but it has since seen several reprintings in things like Commander Legends and The List. So seeing it get reprinted again is amazing. It doesn't have new art, but again, lowering the price of these cards that need to go in every deck is really, really awesome. Yes, some cards are expensive because they fit in a particular type of deck and that deck is powerful, but the cards that need to be in every deck are the cards that need to be cheap. Now, you can kind of make the argument that maybe tutors aren't the best thing for EDH, but if they are going to be in Commander, at least make them accessible. Alrighty, number 4 is Urza's Incubator. This card is currently going for $49.67 and is basically a must include in any kind of tribal deck. It's a 3-drop artifact that as it enters the battlefield, you can choose any creature type, and then creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to cast. This is like a Herald's Horn, but it's only seen printing in a couple things. So it was originally printed in Urza's Destiny, followed by a reprint in Commander 2015, followed by a reprint in Commander Anthology Volume 2 because it was in Commander 2015. But it is not seen printing in a main set since its original printing, which again does mean part of the price is its scarcity. You know, it is a card that is incredibly good and pretty rare, and so because of that, getting your hands on them can be quite pricey. On top of the fact that this has new art, this is an amazing inclusion, and actually maybe one of those inclusions that doesn't drop the price that much, especially because we're also seeing this in a retro frame and a borderless frame like a lot of these. The prices in this video are only the normal non-foil versions of the cards. I'm actually going to do a video right when the set launches talking about the top 10 most expensive variant, because I'm very curious on how things like the retro frame and borderless affect pricing. But at least for the main version, $49.67 is where this card lands. But Urza's not done on this list yet. Coming in at number 3, we have Urza, Lord High Artificer. Not to be confused with any of the Urzas that were just printed in the Brothers' War, this is the original from Modern Horizons, and it's currently going for $50.30. It is a 4-drop 1/4 that is incredibly powerful in Commander as a CEDH lead of a mono blue artifact deck. Essentially, the really powerful part is the fact that you can tap an untapped artifact you control to add blue mana, and then you can also pay 5 mana to shuffle your library, then exile the top card, and then until the end of your turn, you can play that card without paying its mana cost. Basically, he can get a ton of value out of his artifacts, use them to win the game. He kind of does everything. He creates an artifact, he uses artifacts, and he has a way to win the game. And overall, he's a very powerful commander because of that. This is only ever seen printing in the original Modern Horizons. And then there was a reprint in Modern Horizons 2 with the time-shifted Modern Horizons 1 cards where they did the retro frames, but that one's actually more expensive than the original Modern Horizons version, so it's never seen a true reprint, and this is looking to do that, which is really exciting. Either way, let's move on to number 2, Enlightened Tutor. It's currently going for $51.61, and it is the last of our 1-drop instant speed tutors on this list. We have seen a lot with Worldly Tutor, Entomb, and Vampiric Tutor, and this is all kind of in that same realm. It's a 1-drop white instant, and it lets you search your library for an artifact or enchantment, and then put it on top of your library. This overall is a very great card, and you might be wondering, like, why is Enlightened Tutor more expensive than Vampiric Tutor, even though Vampiric Tutor seems better? A big reason for that is that cards like Demonic Tutor exist. There are a lot of black cards that allow you to search for any card. There are not nearly as many white cards that let you search for artifacts or enchantments. Yes, there are other ones, but the sheer number is a lot lower, and so because of that, there are less replacements, and therefore Enlightened Tutor is needed more. On top of that, it's actually seen less reprints than Vampiric Tutor, kind of. Enlightened Tutor has seen more reprints, but they're in a lot more digital formats or in non-accessible forms where they're in World Champ decks and stuff like that where they're not really usable or at least buyable by the average person. And so just a lot less of the actual reprints have happened for Enlightened Tutor. It's a really great card. Really excited to get more of these out there and make decks that need to run it a little bit cheaper. Alrighty, number 1, the most expensive card in the set, and it was actually the first card revealed for the set, which makes sense because they were trying to hype it up. Force of Will. This iconic card is a 5-cost instant that says counter target spell. but it actually doesn't cost 5. It actually costs you 1 life and exiling a blue card from your hand rather than paying its mana cost. And that is what's really good about it. It is a free counter spell that you can use at any time to counter any spell. It doesn't have conditions like, hey, you have to control your commander. It doesn't have conditions where it can't be your turn for it to be activated. It can counter anything at any time by just paying a life and exiling a blue card from your hand. And it is a must include in any combo deck in any format it is included in if you are in blue. The big reason is you can spend all your mana to go all in your combo and still protect it even with Force of Will, and generally it's just an amazing card because it lets you tap out and stay protected. Free counterspells are powerful. Force of Will has seen several reprintings, but a lot of them are like weird little like judge gift cards and things like that. We have seen some recently with Double Masters, but again, more reprints is better. $90.77 is the current going price of Force of Will, which is insane to pay $90 for one counterspell. I don't actually expect this to go down that much. It is like a mega must include in so many different types of decks. So seeing another reprint of it is great. It is getting another borderless version. It is getting another retro version. But again, I'm going to be doing a separate video covering those versions. Either way, guys, those are the top 10 most expensive cards in the set. It looks really, really awesome. I'm not really sure where booster prices are going to land. Last time we had a remastered set with Time Spiral Remastered, they didn't print nearly enough, and so things ended up getting crazy expensive. So it really depends on what the prices are looking like right now. Right now, it's looking like $200 per draft booster box and $300 per collector booster box, but I expect those prices to go up. I really don't recommend pre-ordering any of these cards. These prices are the current prices for them, but as news of these cards being reprinted gets out, I expect the price to drop on all of them, at least for a little bit, and then eventually they'll probably go back up, unless they're a card that is expensive only because it is rare. Either way, guys, I want to know your thoughts on Dominaria Remastered in the comments down below. I also want to say one last thing to people who watch my channel. I know there's been a lot of top 10 most expensive cards videos recently. They do really well on the channel, so I want to like keep doing them to expand the channel and get more viewers. But also, we've had so many Magic sets recently that it's like, we just had Jumpstart 2022 come out literally less than a week ago, and now we have Dominaria Remastered spoilers ending, and then in a week we're getting Phyrexia spoilers. I'm probably going to do a video covering this issue specifically, but yeah, just bear with me. We're going to get back to our regularly scheduled content soon. I will see you guys in the next one.